how much energy is there in that community, and how much should we expect in that creativity available to all of us?
Yeah, the energy in open source AI is insane these days. Just a few weeks ago, I was in San Francisco. I tweeted that I would be around and that we could do some sort of a small get-together for open source AI people. We thought we would get maybe a few dozen, few hundred people. And the more the days came, the more people ended up joining. We had to change locations 3 times to something at the end almost as big as that. We had 5,000 people. People started calling it the Woodstock of AI. So that's just an example. We're competing with that as the Woodstock of AI. Just a proof of how vibrant the open source AI community is. We're seeing the same thing on Hugging Face, right? Since we started on the platform 4 years ago, we grew to now having over 15,000 companies using the platform, including very large companies like Google, like Meta, like Bloomberg, all the way down to smaller companies like Grammarly, for example. And collectively, they have shared over 250,000 open models on the platform, 50,000 data sets, and over 100,000 open demos. Just last week, 4,000 new models have been shared on the platform. So that shows you kind of like the magnitude and energy in open source AI community.
Just think about that. 4,000 models in 1 week. So one of the myth-busting things that we were chatting about is that element of one model will not rule them all. Right? There's going to be a huge amount of innovation that is happening from so many sources. So perhaps you could share with us, what are some examples of innovation that you've seen? We've seen scale, but what are some examples that really caught your eye or you thought were particularly powerful?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because since the release of ChatGPT, right, and some people have said, okay, ChatGPT is the model to rule them all, 100,000 new models have been added on Hugging Face, right? And obviously, companies, they don't train models just to train models, right? They would prefer not to do it because it costs money to train models. But the truth is, if you look at how AI is built, when you can build smaller, more specialized, customized models for your use cases, they end up being cheaper, they end up being more efficient, and they end up being better for your use case, right? Just the same way every single technology company learned how to write code, right? And to have a different code base than their competitors or than companies in other fields. We're seeing the same thing for AI, right? Every single company needs to train their own models, optimize their own models, learn how to run these models at scale. Every single company needs to build their own ChatGPT, because if they don't, they won't be able to differentiate. They won't be able to create the unique technology value that they've been building for their customers, and they'll lose control, right, if they start outsourcing it. So that's what we're seeing on Hugging Face and in the ecosystem as a whole.
It's back to this philosophy of don't just be a prompt tuner user, right? Be a value creator with all of this. So let's talk about our partnership for a minute. Why are you excited about bringing the power of all of this community into Watson X in the context now of an enterprise need and meeting the needs of our clients that are here or listening?
Yeah, obviously, Hugging Face and IBM share a lot of the same DNA, right, around open source, open platform, kind of like providing extensible tools for companies. For me, one of the most iconic collaboration partnership of the last decade is IBM plus Red Hat. And hopefully, we're just at the beginning of it, but with this collaboration, we can do the same thing for AI. I think with this integration between Watson X and Hugging Face, you kind of like get the best of both worlds in the sense that you get the cutting edge and the community and the numbers of models, data sets, apps of the Hugging Face ecosystem. And you get the security and support of IBM, right? For example, we mentioned all the models. the IBM consultants can help you to pick the right models for you at the time that is going to make sense for your company. So you really get kind of like the perfect mix to get to what we were saying, meaning every one of you being able to build your own internal ChatGPT.
So tell us, this is just great. I'm just delighted about those opportunities. And so tell us a little bit about what's next for Hugging Face. When you look over the next year or so, what excites you the most?
Many, many exciting things for us. We've seen a lot of adoption, a lot of companies using us for text, for audio, for image. And now we're starting to see that expand to other domains. For example, we're seeing a lot of video right now. We're seeing a lot of recommender systems. We're seeing a lot of time series. We're starting a lot of biology, chemistry. We're really excited about it. We think ultimately AI is the new default to build all features, all workflows, all products. It's kind of like the new default to build all tech. So we're excited for this expansion to other domains. Also, we're seeing a lot of work around chaining different models. And in fact, at Hugging Face, we released today Transformers agents, which is a way to chain different models to build more complex systems that are achieving kind of like better capabilities. These are some of the things that we're the most excited about.
So a lot there. So thank you, Clem. Thank you so much. And congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you.
So well, you saw how the platform works to enable the foundation model creation workflow end-to-end. And we talked about data. We talked about model architectures, the compute infrastructure, the models themselves, the importance of the open community. So now let me show you how to use and how you would experience watsonx. And we're going to go inside the studio, inside watsonx.ai. And from the landing page, you can choose to prompt models, to fine-tune models, or deploy and manage your deployed models. So here's an example of how you can use the prompt lab to do a summarization task. You give the model the text as a prompt, and the model summarizes it for you. In the case of a customer care interaction, it gives you the customer problem and the resolution according to the transcript of the interaction. In the tuning studio, as we saw before, you can set the parameters or the type of tuning that you want to do and the base model, and you can add your data. The studio gives you detailed stats of the tuning process and allows you to deploy the tune model in your application. It's that simple. We took the complexity of the process away, so you only need to worry about creating value for your business. And here are some of our current AI value creators. SAP will use IBM Watson capabilities to power its digital assistant in their SAP solutions. You've been hearing about Red Hat, how it's embedding IBM Watson Code Assistant into the Ansible automation platform. BBVA is bringing their enterprise data to use with their own foundation model for natural language. Moderna is applying IBM's foundation models to help predict potential mRNA medicines. NASA is using our language models together with geospatial models we've created together to improve our scientific understanding and response to Earth and climate-related issues. And Wix is using foundation models to gain novel insights for customer care as they meet the needs of their customers. So what I encourage you is to join them and embrace the age of value creation with AI. A year ago, I stood on a stage just like this, closing Think. And I shared with all of the attendees that what was next in AI was foundation models. And maybe at the time it seemed a little bit abstract and sort of like this intellectual disposition about where things were going. But boy, what a year it has been. And it has been a big year for AI at IBM. So as we close our event this year, let me remind you of all the things that we have created and announced. We've announced watsonx, a comprehensive platform that allows you to create and govern AI in real time so that you can move with urgency and capture this moment. We announced a family of foundation models, including IBM models, open community models, and how you can even create your own models. We announced our data model factory, using petabytes of data across multiple domains to create trillions of tokens to create our family of foundation models, and show how the factory continuously updates them when conditions change and brings a regular cadence of models to ensure proper governance. We told you about products where we have infused our foundation models, over 15 of them, including digital labor, Red Hat, products like Ansible Automation Platform, our partner products like SAP Solutions. We announced important collaborations to advance AI and bring it to the enterprise, Hugging Face, and long-standing collaborations and initiatives like PyTorch and Ray. We showed you some of the organizations that have become AI value creators with us. We're bringing IBM Vela, or cloud-native AI supercomputer, to train foundation models with bare metal performance while giving us the flexibility of the cloud. And we announced that we're making it available as a service. Last year, we launched the Telum in Z16. It's an engineering marvel, and IBM's first processor to have on-chip accelerator for AI inferencing. It can process 300 billion inferences per day with 1 millisecond latencies. This means that now you can infuse AI into every transaction in Z16 for applications like fraud detection and others in real time. Using the same core architecture as Telum, we built the IBM Research AIU, which is optimized to give superior performance for foundation models and enable with the Red Hat software stack. And at IBM Research, we are incubating powerful AIU systems designed and optimized for enterprise AI inference and tuning. So a truly fantastic year, and this is just the start of all the amazing things that we're building and developing for you and that we will be sharing with you in the coming years. So today, more than ever before, it's important to have a business strategy in AI. And in closing, as you think about how to harness foundation models for your business, let me offer you some tips to consider. First, act with urgency. This is a transformative moment in technology. Be bold and capture the moment. Second, be a value creator. Build foundation models on your data and under your control. They will become your most valuable asset. Don't outsource that, and don't reduce your AI strategy to an API call. Third, bet on community. Bet on the energy and the ingenuity of the OpenAI community. One model, I guarantee you, will not rule them all. Run everywhere efficiently. Optimize for performance, latency, and cost by building with open hybrid technologies. And finally, be responsible. I can't stress this enough. Everything I've mentioned is useless unless you build responsibly, transparently, and put governance into the heart of your AI lifecycle. Continuously govern the data you use and the AI you deploy, and co-create with trusted partners. Trust is your ultimate license to operate. If you map your AI business strategy against these recommendations, you will be in a prime position to do amazing things with foundation models and generative AI. We have built Watson X so that you can do just that. And I hope you join us, because we cannot wait to get started on this journey with you. Thank you.